check, check. Hello, one, two, three, sound, sound. Sound, check, check. Hello, 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 one, two, three, hello, hello. Hello, one, two, three, one, two, three, hello, one, two, three. Ano signal dito? Sound, check, check, check. Hello, sound, check, check, check. Check. One, two, three, sound, sound. Alvin, dito oh. One, two, three, sound, check, check. O, nandito. Alvin. O kasi pag dito na, wala na to. Sira ang ano. Sound check, 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 check. Oh. Sound check. One, two, three. Ayan, dito ba? Dito, Alvin, oh. Yung lamesa. Alvin, dito, oh. One, two, three. Sound check, 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 check. Sound check. Check sound.
Sound check. You go. You go. You go. You go. Sound check. You go. You go.
Akong laptop ko. Giato bayaan ni ano maglisod magitagsud ani mga meeting na oy giahak.
Sound. Sound, check. Sound check. Sound.
Good morning to all. Can you hear me?
Yes po, Asek. Good morning po.
Yes. Good morning. I'm just on the road, but we can already start since we already have a quorum. Welcome everyone to the Pre-Bid Conference for the mass production and supply of science and math equipment and packages to public elementary schools for grades 1 to 3 and grades 4 to 6, public junior high schools for grades 7 to 10, and public senior high schools for grades 11 to 12 for core and STEM. These are for lots 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 19. I am Director Marilet R. Almeida, and I am your back chair for back 5. Let us now acknowledge the presence of everyone here in this Pre-Bid conference. Thank you. Over to you, Baksek.
Thank you, Asek. So before we continue our pre-bid conference, may I ask Miss Ella to lead us in prayer.
Okay po, let's pray po. Loving Heavenly Father, we come to you this hour asking for your blessings and help us as we gather together. We pray for guidance in the matter at hand and ask that you would clearly show us how to conduct our work with a spirit of joy and enthusiasm. Give us the desire to find ways to excel in our work. Help us to work together and encourage each other to excellence. We ask that we would challenge each other to reach higher and farther to be the best we can be. We ask this in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you, Miss Ella. Now, we would like to acknowledge the presence of our back members. First is our back chairperson, Asek Marilet R. Almeida. Good morning po, Asek.
Good morning again, everyone.
Thank you po. For our Vice Chairperson, Director Suzette T. Ganaban Medina, good morning po.
Good morning. Good morning, Yusek.
So for our regular member, would like to acknowledge the presence po of our Undersecretary, Attorney Gerard L. Chan. Good morning po, Yusek.
Good morning.
Thank you po. For our provisional member, Miss...
Good morning.
Opo. So for our provisional member, Miss Sonia R. De Leon, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone.
And for our alternate provisional member, Sir Albert Jerome C. Andres. Good morning, sir.
Good morning po.
Thank you po. And for our TWGs who join us online, good morning, Sir Aljon Bertuoso, Miss Jocelyn Garciano, Bradford Lisondra, and Mr. Vilhilio Agot. Good morning po.
Good morning.
Good morning po.
For our back secretariat, Miss Winvy, Miss Ella, Miss Jenaline De Asis, Mr. Arben, Mr. Arben, Mr. Rodirin, and our Sir James Ibiernas. Good morning, sir. And I am Geraldine M. Combali, sir. Thank you po. And we would like also to acknowledge the presence of our bidders. May you approach the mic po and introduce yourself and the company. Thank you.
Good morning po everybody. Jonathan Silveta po of Nika Trading.
Good morning po. From Nika Trading po, Lynette po. Lynette Atido.
Good morning po, Shena Binoman from Nika Trading.
Good morning, everyone. Rochi Calzado from Eden Resources Publishing.
Good morning po. Siegfried Ansel from Edu Resources.
Thank you po. That's all po, Asek. For our end po.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Dean, for the acknowledgement of our participants for this morning's Revit conference for science and math equipment. With the declaration of the quorum, we will now proceed with the agenda item for this Revit.
We invited thank you po, ASEC. So again, welcome po to our Previt conference for the project Mass Production and Supply of Science and Mathematics Equipment Packages to Public Elementary Schools for grades 1 to 3 and grades 4 to 6, public junior high schools for grades 7 to 10, and public senior high schools for grade 11 to 12, core and STEM for lots 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 19. For the observers, we invited through letters dated November 28, 2023 to Commission on Audit or COA, NAMFREL, ANSA-EA Foundation Incorporated, Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, GWATCH, and civil society organizations. So for the project information, our end user is Bureau of Learning Resources Cebu, and the sources of funds are FY 2022 LTE's SME Continuing Funds and FY 2023 LTE SME Current Funds. The date of advertisement and posting of the invitation to bid dated November 26, 2023 through PhilJEPS, DepEd website, and DepEd bulletin board. The purpose of this pre-bid conference is first, to clarify and address bidders' questions on the different aspects of the project, and second, for bidders to fully understand the requirements. Note that any statement issued shall not modify the terms unless it in writing and issued through supplemental bulletin. For the approved budget for these lots, for lot 2A, the approved budget is 5,730,047 and 62 centavos. For lot 2B, 8,387,608 and 89 centavos. For lot 2, for lot 2C, 11,069,926 and 76 centavos. For lot 3A, 17,710,235 and 82 centavos. For lot 3B, 19,260,139.55 centavos. For lot 3C, 24,166,926.63. For lot 4A, 16,924,928 and 55 centavos. For lot 4B, 23,244,215 and 59 centavos. For lot 4C, 29,842,735.46. For lot BA, 53,370,924 and 75 centavos. For lot 5B, 41,126,709.24. For lot 5C, 51,199,398 and 31 centavos. And for lot number 9, 31,536,587.05. For lot 10, 64,350,733 and 58 centavos. For lot 11, 104,219,130 and 39 centavos. For lot 12, 311,072,470 and 59 centavos. For lot 13, 159,919,750 and 85 centavos. And for lot 19, 163,006,393 and 82 centavos. The total for these lots are 1,136,138,864 and 45 centavos. So for the project information, start of issuance of bidding documents, November 26, 2023, and the cost of bidding documents as shown in the screen. Bidding documents may be downloaded at the following websites: notices.philjobs.gov.ph and www.deped.gov.ph. The number of prospective bidders that purchased the bidding documents as of today, December 2, 2023, one per prospective bidder. The private conference is open to all interested parties who have or have not bought the bidding documents. For those who are interested to purchase the bidding documents, two options are made available to it. First, a complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders from the DepEd Procurement Management Service, Room 511, 5th floor, Mabini Building, DepEd Central Office, DepEd Complex, Meralco Ave, Pasig City. Upon accomplishing the bidder's information sheet and paying a non-refundable fee for the bidding documents to the DepEd cashier, payment in checks should be made payable to Dex OSEC Trust. Second is interested bidders may signify their intent to purchase the bidding documents through email at depedcentral.backsecretariat@deped.gov.ph by accomplishing a bidder's information sheet, Annex B. Upon receipt of the bidder's information sheet, the Back Secretariat Division will send through email the details of the DEX OSEC Trust Fund account for payment. Upon payment, bidders may send through email the proof of payment before the deadline for submission of bids. Upon receipt of proof of payment, the Back Secretariat will send the electronic copy of the bidding documents. So who are eligible or may participate? The Filipino entities, which is the single or sole proprietorship, partnerships, corporations, cooperatives, joint venture, government cooperate entities, and for foreign entities, the direct participation and the joint venture of 40%. Note, only bids of bidders found to be legally, technically, and financially capable will be evaluated. The salient points of the bidding documents. Single largest completed contract or the SLCC, prospective bidder should have completed within a period of 10 years immediately preceding the deadline for submission of bids. Single largest completed contract similar to the contract to be bid and the value of which adjusted, if necessary, by the bidder to current prices using the Philippine Statistics Authority Consumer Price Index must be at least 50% of the ABC of the lot bid for, or at least two similar contracts and the total of the aggregated contract amount should be equivalent to at least 50% of the ABC of the lots bid for, and the largest of these similar contracts must be equivalent to at least 25% of the ABC of the lots to be bid for. For this purpose, contracts similar to the project shall be first supply and delivery of science and or mathematics equipment and completed within a period of 10 years immediately prior to the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. Subcontracting ITB Clause 7.1, subcontracting is not allowed. Clarification and amendment of bidding documents ITB Clause 9, prospective bidders may request for clarification and or interpretation of any part of the bidding documents. Such requests must be in writing and submitted to at least 10 calendar days before the deadline set for the submission and receipt of bids. For the clarification and amendment of the documents ITB Clause 9, the procuring entities address is ASEC Marilet R. Almeida, our Bids and Awards Committee, BAC 5. Consistent with Section 22.5.3 of the revised IRR of RA 9184, posting on the PhilJEPS and the procuring entity's website of any supplemental or bid bulletin shall be considered sufficient notice to all bidders or parties concerned. Bid security ITB Clause 14.1. The bid security shall be in the form of a bid securing declaration or any of the following firms and amounts indicated in Annex C of this bidding document. For sealing and marking of bids, ITB Clause 15, prospective bidders shall enclose their original eligibility and technical documents in one sealed envelope marked as original technical proposal. Copies thereof shall be similarly sealed in envelopes marked as copy number 1 technical proposal and copy number 2 technical proposal. In addition, the USB flash drive containing the soft copy of the original eligibility and technical document shall be marked as USB flash drive. The said envelopes containing the original and the copies and the flash drive shall then be enclosed in one single envelope submitted and marked as technical proposal. On the other hand, the original of their financial document shall be enclosed in another sealed envelope and marked as original financial proposal. Copies thereof shall be similarly sealed in envelopes submitted and marked as copy number 1, financial proposal, and copy number 2, financial proposal. Sealing and marking of bids, the USB flash drive containing the soft copy of the original financial document shall be marked as USB flash drive. The said envelopes containing the original and the copies and the flash drive shall then be enclosed in one single envelope marked as financial proposal. Further, the envelopes marked as technical proposal and financial proposal shall be enclosed and or sealed in an outer envelope marked as mother envelope. Any discrepancy between the hard or paper copies and the copies contained and as presented in the USB flash drive shall be ground for disqualification. The original copies of the Class A eligibility legal documents such as the SEC, DTI, or the CDA registration certificate and the major's permit may not be submitted on the date and the time of the bid submission. However, the bidder must be able to present such original copies during post-qualification on demand by the bank or its authorized representatives for validation. To facilitate the receipt and classification of bid envelopes, mother envelope shall be red, the inner envelope containing technical proposal shall be blue, the inner envelope containing financial proposal shall be green, and the post-qualification document shall be brown. Post-qualification documents may be submitted during the bidding, but this does not disqualify bidders who will not submit post-qualification documents during bid submission. Note, each bidder shall submit 3 paper copies, 1 original and 2 copies of its bid, and 2 flash drive e-electronics copies, 1 technical component and 1 financial component. The e-copy of the price schedule must be in the form of Excel and PDF. Unsealed or unmarked bid envelopes shall be rejected. However, bid envelopes that are not properly sealed and marked as required in the bidding documents shall be accepted, provided that the bidder or its duly authorized representative shall acknowledge such condition of the bid as submitted. The bank shall assume no responsibility for the misplacement of the contents of the improperly sealed or marked bid or for its premature opening. Online submission of bids is not allowed. The sealing and marking of the bids you may view in the bidding documents. For the net financial contracting capacity or NFCC, ITB class 19.5, the computation of a prospective bidder's NFCC must be at least equal to the ABC to be bid, calculated as follows. NFCC is equals to current assets minus current liabilities times 15, or the value of all outstanding or uncompleted portions of the projects under ongoing contracts, including awarded contracts yet to be started. The values of the domestic bidder's current assets and current liabilities shall be based on the latest audited financial statements submitted to the BIR. For the purposes of computing the foreign bidders NFCC, the value of the current assets and current liabilities shall be based on their audited financial statements prepared in accordance with International Financial Reporting Standards 23.5.4.1.4a. If the prospective bidder submits a committed line of credit, it must be at least equal to 10% of the ABC of the lots bid for, provided that if the same is issued by a foreign universal or commercial bank, it shall be confirmed or authenticated by a local universal or commercial bank. In any case, the NFCC computation or committed line of credit as well as the LCC must be sufficient for all the lots or contracts bid for. The NFCC computation shall be in accordance with the prescribed form. In case of a foreign joint venture, the NFCC shall be computed based on the audited financial statements of the local lead partner unless it is shown by clear proof that the other partners to the joint venture have infused capital investment to support the operation of the local lead partner to ensure compliance with the obligations under the contracts in this project, in which case the NFCC of the foreign joint venture or the minority partner of the joint venture shall be computed. For this purpose, the local lead partner shall be that person, organization, or company identified in the joint venture agreement or in the letters of intent. For potential JV partners, shown have to have the controlling stakers in the JV. For easier reference, participating JVs or prospective JV partners must indicate in their JVAs or letters of intent the local lead partner appointed by them. In case of any of a joint venture, the NFCC shall be computed based on the audited financial statement of the local lead partner unless it is shown by clear proof that the other partners to the joint venture have infused capital investment to support the operation of the local lead partner to ensure compliance with the obligations under the contracts in this project, in which case the NFCC of the foreign joint venture of the minority partner of the joint venture shall be computed. With for the post-qualification ITB class 20.1 with a non-extendable period of 5 calendar days from receipt by the bidder of the notice from the bank that is submitted the LCB, the bidder shall submit the following documentary requirements. First is the latest income and business tax returns, printed copies of the electronically filed income tax and business tax returns with copies of their respective payment confirmation forms for the immediately preceding calendar or tax year from the authorized agent bank. Only tax returns filed and tax paid through the BIR electronic filing and payment systems shall be accepted. Note, the latest income and business tax returns are those within the last 6 months preceding the date of bid submission. Next is to ensure the safety, efficacy, or quality of products, and if the law requires that a certain product shall pass the requirements of the regulatory body, bidders shall submit certificate licenses or other documents issued by such regulatory agency or other accredited certifying body, such as but not limited to FDA certificate for food and drugs, NTC for electronics equipment, and the like. C bidders are also required to include an ISO certificate and other appropriate licenses and permits required by law and stated in the BDS. During post-qualification upon demand by the bank or its representatives, a bidder with the lowest calculated bid shall be able to submit the following. A. Documents to verify or support its statement of ongoing and or statement identifying its single largest completed contract, which may consist of the following: appropriate and clear duly signed contracts, purchase orders, agreements, notices of award, job orders, or notices to proceed, with the corresponding duly signed certificate of completion, delivery receipts, inspection and acceptance reports, certificates of final acceptance, or official receipts. For validation purposes, original copy Class A eligibility documents. During post-qualification, compliance of the goods offered with the requirements specified in this bidding document shall be determined including the following. As per section 34.3B.2 item A of the IRR of RA 9184, verification of availability and commitment and/or inspection and testing for the required capacities and operating conditions of equipment units to be owned, leased, under purchase by the bidder for use in the contract under bidding, as well as checking the performance of the bidder in its ongoing government and private contracts if any of these ongoing contracts shows negative slippage of at least 15% in any one project or negative slippage of at least 10% in each of two or more contracts. Next is as per section 34.3 B.3 items A to C of the IRR of RA 9184, verification and or inspection and testing of the goods product after sales and or maintenance capabilities in applicable cases, as well as checking the following. First, delay in the partial delivery of goods amounting to 10% to deliver or perform any or all of the goods or services within the periods specified in the contracts or within any extension thereof granted by the procuring entity pursuant to a request made by the supplier prior to the delay, and such failure amounts of at least 10% of the contract price, or unsatisfactory performance of the supplier's obligations as per contractor terms and conditions at the time of inspection. If the BAC verifies any of these deficiencies to be due to the bidder's fault or negligence, the BAC shall disqualify the bidder from the award for the procurement of goods. In case of foreign bidders, a certificate of authentication from the Department of Foreign Affairs shall be required for each document submitted. Class A documents or its equivalent that are written in foreign language, translated to English, and duly authenticated by the appropriate Philippine Foreign Service establishment or post or the equivalent office having jurisdiction over the foreign bidders' affairs in the Philippines. To facilitate post-qualification, the bidder at its option may submit in advance, on the deadline for submission and receipt of bids above requirements and other documents required in section 2.ITB 20.1. The envelope shall be placed in a brown envelope marked item ITB 20.1 documents. Failure to submit above requirements within required time frame or a finding against the veracity of any such documents or other documents submitted for the project shall be a ground for disqualification of the bidder for the award and enforcement of the bid securing declaration.
For the submission of samples po, in addition to the documentary requirements to be submitted during post-qualification as provided under ITB Clause 20.1, the bidders with the lowest calculated bids for lots 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 19 shall submit one sample item or unit for all the items within the lots bid for, consistent with their actual offer as indicated in their bid. However, the bidder may provide a sample of better or superior quality, which, if accepted, shall be the reference for award, contract, prospection, and eventual delivery. These samples shall be subjected to evaluation during post-qualification. The technical working group shall evaluate the said samples to determine compliance with the required technical specifications subject to the approval of the Bids and Awards Committee. Failure of the samples to meet depth and technical specifications shall be a ground for disqualification of the bidders. Please refer to Annex D for the inspection and test protocol of the mass production items and market items. In case the item will be manufactured from abroad, the bidder may submit its list of equipment and a video showing the manufacturer's plant and equipment from abroad to approve the bidder's capability to manufacture the item.
For the delivery and documents, GCC Clause 1, the delivery terms applicable under this contract shall be DDP or duties delivered paid in accordance with Incoterms. Rees entitled to the goods shall pass from the supplier to DepEd upon receipt and final acceptance of the goods at the designated delivery site or the schools. The goods to be delivered by the supplier must be in accordance with the technical specifications and other requirements indicated in the bidding documents, and or as may be reasonably deemed necessary to effect the full and timely delivery of the goods. Upon delivery of the goods to the delivery site, door to door, the supplier shall notify DepEd and present the following documents. First, original and 4 copies of the supplier's invoice showing goods description, quantity, unit price, and total amount. Second, original and 4 copies of the manufacturer's and or supplier's warranty certificate where applicable. Third, original, white copy, and scanned copy stored in CD, DVD, flash drive of the pre-numbered inspection and acceptance report or IAR and delivery receipt or DR detailing the number and description of goods received and duly signed and dated by the ARP. So for purposes of this clause, the representative of the Department of Education at the delivery site shall be the authorized representative or the school head and the designated inspectorate team. In case a supplier encounters conditions impeding timely delivery of the goods, it must promptly notify DepEd in writing within 5 calendar days from notice of such conditions, and any request for work suspension and or contract period extension shall be promptly done in writing as soon as circumstances for such requests have become apparent. The supplier must provide sufficient proof to support any request for work suspension and or contract period extension. For incidental services, the supplier is required to provide all of the following services, including additional services, if any, as follows. First, performance or supervision of on-site assembly and or start-up of the supplied goods and demonstrate how to use the delivered goods. The supplier must submit a certificate signed by the authorized representative of the recipient school indicating that the supplier conducted the demonstration. Second, furnishing of a detailed operations and maintenance manual for each appropriate unit of the supplied goods applicable for lots 1, 3, 4, and 5, the market items only, and C, performance, supervision, maintenance, and or repair of the supplied goods for a period of time agreed by the parties, provided that this service shall not relieve the supplier of any warranty obligation, and letter D, provision of training videos for various items such as lots 1, 3, 4, and 5 with training components. The training video must be stored in a USB flash drive. However, assembly, installation, startup, and or commissioning of items in cases where they are necessary shall remain to be the responsibility and for the account of the supplier notwithstanding inspection and acceptance at its premises. In case of failure of supplier to do this, DepEd may call upon the supplier's warranty so that the assembly, installation, startup, and or commissioning shall be undertaken by DepEd. In any case, the supplier shall provide written manuals and tutorial videos for installation, commissioning, startup, assembly, use, and maintenance of the items delivered. So for the spare parts, the supplier is required to provide all of the following materials, notifications and information pertaining to spare parts manufactured or distributed by the supplier. For such spare parts as the DepEd may elect to purchase from the supplier, provided that this election shall not relieve the supplier of any warranty obligations under this contract. Second, in the event of termination of production of the spare parts, The advance notification to the DepEd of the pending termination in sufficient time to permit the procuring entity to procure needed requirements, and following such termination, furnishing at no cost to the DepEd the blueprints, drawings, and specifications of the spare parts if requested. For the packaging, the supplier shall provide such packaging as is required to prevent their damage or deterioration during transit to their final destination, as indicated in this contract. The packaging shall be sufficient to withstand, without limitation, rough handling during transit and exposure to extreme temperatures, salt and precipitation during transit, and open storage. Packaging case size and weight shall take into consideration, where appropriate, the remoteness of the goods' final destination and the absence of heavy handling facilities at all points in transit. The packaging, marking, and documentation within and outside the packages shall comply strictly with such special requirements as shall be expressly provided, including additional requirements, if any, specified below and in any subsequent instructions ordered by DepEd. Additional instructions to supplier. The following must appear on the exterior of the packages or boxes: the DepEd logo, project name, mass production, supply and delivery of science and mathematics equipment packages to public elementary schools for grades 1 to 3 and grades 4 to 6, public junior high schools for grades 7 to 10, and public senior high schools for grades 11 to 12, current STEM 2022 repeat and 2023. Items inside: name, general description, and quantity. Then the supplier's name and contact details. So packaging should be according to the allocation list per school. So refer to DO21 series of 2021 for reference. Then, for the mass production of cabinets, the supplier must ensure that the items are properly sealed, complete, properly packaged, where applicable must be knocked down, disassembled, and suitable for easier hauling, transport, and storage upon delivery to the designated area to perform the formal acceptance of the items by the recipient school as the case may be. Insurance: the goods under this contract shall be fully insured by the supplier in a freely convertible currency against loss or damage incidental to manufacture or acquisition, transportation, storage, and delivery. The goods remain at the risk and title of the supplier until their final acceptance by DepEd. Then for the transportation, transport of the goods shall be arranged by the supplier and related costs shall be included in the contract price. DepEd accepts no liability for the damage of goods during transit. Risk and title will not be deemed to have passed to DepEd until its receipt and final acceptance at the final destination through its authorized receiving personnel. For the intellectual property rights, the supplier shall indemnify DepEd against all third-party claims of infringement of patent, trademark, or industrial design rights arising from the use of the goods or any part thereof. Then for the GCC clause, schedule of payment, GCC clause 2.2, the schedule of payment, the method and conditions of payment to be made to the supplier through the government disbursement procedure within 60 days upon submission of the bidding request with complete supporting documents under this contract shall be as follows. For the advance payment, an advance payment not to exceed 15% of the contract amount shall be allowed and paid within 60 calendar days from the signing of the contract. An irrevocable letter of credit or bank guarantee of an equivalent amount must be submitted and shall remain valid until the goods are delivered and accompanied by a claim for advance payment. For the progress payment, the supplier shall be paid upon delivery to at least 25% of the recipient schools with complete goods and acceptance of the same by an authorized representative of DepEd. Then the supplier may submit a request for payment based on progress reports which shall be attached to the progress billing and include the following: quantity of goods delivered based on the schedule of delivery and other relevant terms and conditions of the contract, duly signed delivery receipts, duly signed inspection and acceptance reports, including certification by supplier as approved by the duly authorized DepEd representative or the school head that the goods have been delivered and are properly installed and commissioned in accordance with the contract. Other documents in support of a request for payment may be required by DepEd pursuant to existing disbursement, accounting, and auditing rules and procedures. Note: the supplier must furnish a copy of the above-mentioned documents to DepEd Accounting and the end user, the Bureau of Learning Resources Cebu, and the Contract Management Division of the Procurement Service Central Office. Payment shall be subject to the warranty provision in the form of either retention money in an amount equivalent to 3% of every progress payment or the contract price, or a special bank guarantee in the amount equivalent to 3% of the contract price as provided under Section 62.1 of RA 9184 and its revised IRR. Then, for the final payment shall consist of the full and final payment of the unpaid, inspected, and accepted goods, subject to the submission of the required documents under the bidding documents. The release of retention money shall be at the expiration of the warranty period or the remaining amount in case it has been utilized pursuant to the warranty provision.
Performance security, GCC Clause 3. The performance security shall be posted in favor of DepEd and shall be forfeited in the event it is established that the supplier is in the default of any of its obligations under the contract. The supplier shall be responsible for the extension of its performance security and or renewal of its performance security whenever necessary. And without need of prior notice or instruction from DepEd to ensure that it is in force and effect for the whole duration of the contract delivery period and until a certificate of final acceptance is duly issued. Performance security shall not contain any deletion, crossing out, expansion, or any form of correction. Otherwise, DepEd may reject such security if any such intercalation or alteration affects any materials, information, or features of the document. Inspection, GCC Clause 4. Inspection or pre-delivery inspection, PDI, where applicable for goods to be delivered, shall be conducted by DepEd through the duly designation inspectorate team. The inspection or PDI shall be made upon notice to the DepEd of the readiness of the goods for inspection. In case the inspection of goods will be conducted by the designated inspectorate team of the DepEd Central Office, the supplier shall coordinate with DepEd through the Procurement Management Service, Contract Management Division, or PROCFS CMD. On the conduct of inspection or pre-delivery inspection, PDI, any request for inspection or PDI shall be done in writing and contain the following information. First, project title and contract number. Second, specific goods or inspection. Third, quantity of goods or for inspection. Fourth, venue or address of inspection site. And number 5, proposed schedule of inspection which must be at least 10 calendar days from the submission of the letter request. The request for inspection or PDI shall be addressed to PROCMS CMD and must be submitted through email at procms.cmd@deped.gov.ph. Pre-delivery and pre-implementation conference shall be conducted prior to the inspection of goods by the designation DepEd inspectorate team, as may be necessary or applicable. Prior to and for purposes of inspection, the supplier shall ensure convenient access to the goods for inspection. The supplier shall assign personnel to undertake the handling, unpacking, assembling, commissioning, disassembly, repacking, resealing, and sorting of the goods prior to, during, and after the inspection. DepEd shall have the right to visit and inspect the supplier's premises covered by the contract at any time or stage of contract implementation to monitor and assess the supplier capacity to discharge each contractual obligations. Goods with defects or non-compliant with the required technical specification upon delivery shall be rejected orally or in writing by DepEd and replaced by the supplier in accordance with the warranty provision of this bidding document. The supplier shall replace all rejected goods within 5 calendar days from its receipt of notice of rejection from the receipt of school. The replacement goods shall be subject to reinspection. Goods are considered defective when they are unfit for the use for which it is intended or its fitness for such use is diminished to such as an extent that had DepEd been aware thereof, it would not have acquired it or would have given a lower price for it. Defects in the goods can either be patent or latent. A patent defect is one that is apparent to the buyer on normal observation. It is an apparent or obvious defect. On the other hand, a latent defect is one that is not apparent to the buyer by reasonable observation. A latent defect is hidden or one that is not immediately determinable. Warranty GCC Clause 5, a 1-year comprehensive warranty for the non-expendable goods and 3 months for the expendable goods will be applied. The said warranty period shall recon from the date of issuance of the certificate of final acceptance by the DepEd that delivery goods have been duly inspected and accepted. Payment shall be subject to the warranty provision in the form either retention money in an amount equivalent to 3% of every progress payment or the contract price, or a special bank guarantee in the amount equivalent to 3% of the contract price as provided under Section 62.1 of RA 9184 and its revised IRR. Replacement and or repair of the goods may be requested within 360 calendar days for non-expendable goods and 90 calendar days for expendable goods from the date of acceptance of good by DepEd. Replacement and or repair of the goods shall be made within 30 calendar days upon claim or request thereof. See attached Annex E for the warranty. In case the supplier of poor retention money, the amount shall only be released after the lapse of the entire warranty period, unless during the remainder of the warranty period the retention money is substituted with a special bank guarantee as prescribed above. The special bank guarantee shall not contain any deletion, crossing out, expansion, or any form of correction. Otherwise, DepEd may reject such security if any such intercalation, superimposition, or alteration affect any material information or features of the document.
Madam Chair, before we continue po, may we acknowledge the presence of our alternate member, Director Leia B. Apo. Good morning po, Director. Thank you po.
Good morning.
So for our schedule of requirements, for lot number 2, the description is location 1 NCR, region 4B, region 7, region 9, with 17 items indicated in Annex A and Section 6 of schedule of requirements of this bidding document. The contract duration within 120 calendar days from the date of the receipt of the notice to proceed. For lot 2B, location 2, CAR, Caraga, Region 1, Region 3, Region 4A, and Region 8, with 17 items indicated also in Annex A. The contract duration, same with within 120 calendar days from the date of receipt of the notice to proceed. So for lot 2C, for the location 3, Region 2, Region 5, Region 6, Region 10, Region 11, and Region 12 with 17 items indicated in Annex A with the 120 calendar days from the date of receipt of the NTP. For lot number 3A, location 1, NCR, Region 4B, Region 7, and Region 9 with 32 items indicated in Annex A within 120 calendar days from the date of receipt of the NTP. For lot 3B, location 2, CAR, Caraga, Region 1, Region 3, Region 4A, and Region 8 with 32 items indicated in Annex A and within 120 calendar days from the receipt of the NTP. For lot 3C, location 3, Region 2, Region 5, Region 6, Region 10, Region 11, and Region 12 with 32 items indicated in Annex A. For lot 4A, location 1, NCR, Region 4B, Region 7, Region 9, with 7 items indicated in Annex A and Section 6, Schedule of Requirements within 120 calendar days. Lot number 4B, location 2, Car, Caraga, Region 1, Region 3, Region 4A, and Region 8, with 7 items indicated in Annex A within 120 calendar days. For Lot C, location 3, Region 2, Region 5, Region 6, Region 10, Region 11, and 12, with 7 items indicated in Annex A, and the contract duration is also within 120 calendar days. The Lot 5, Lot B, and Lot C, the items are 19 items indicated in Annex A and within 120 calendar days. For lot number 9, the descriptions, chemicals, with 17 items indicated in Annex A within 210 calendar days from the date of the receipt of the NTP. And lot 10, the glasswares and lab tools with 30 items indicated in Annex A and also within 210 calendar days from the date of the receipt of the NTP. For Lot 11, science devices, instruments, and measuring tools matter with 15 items indicated to Annex A within 210 calendar days from the date of the receipt of the NTP. For lot number 12, science devices, instruments, and measuring tools with 25 items indicated in Annex A and within 210 calendar days. For lot 13, mathematical manipulatives, with 19 items indicated in Annex A and Section 6 Schedule of Requirements of the bidding document within 210 calendar days from the receipt of the NTP. And lastly, for lot 19, force, motion, and energy kits with 48 items indicated in Annex A within 210 calendar days from the date of the receipt of the NTP. So for the technical specifications, bidders must state either comply or not comply against each of the individual parameters of each specification, stating the corresponding performance parameter of the equipment offered. Statement of comply or not comply must be supported by evidence in a bidder's bid and cross-reference to that evidence. Evidence shall be in the form of the manufacturer's unamended sales literature and conditional statements of specification and compliance issued by the manufacturer. Samples, independent test data, etc., as appropriate. A statement that is not supported by evidence or is subsequently found to be contradicted by the evidence presented will render the bid under evaluation liable for rejection. A statement is either in the bidder statement of compliance or the supporting evidence that is found to be false either during bid evaluation, post-qualification, or the execution of the contract may be regarded as fraudulent and render the bidder or supplier liable for prosecution subject to the applicable laws and insurances. No contract rule in Section 32.1 of the IRR of RA 9184, members of the BAC, its staff, and personnel, Secretariat, and TWG, as well as observers, are prohibited for making or accepting any communication with any bidder regarding the evaluation of their bids until the issuance of the notice of award. However, the BAC, through its secretariat, may ask in writing the bidder for a clarification of its bid. All responses to requests for clarification shall be in writing. So for the deadline for submission and opening of bids, November 14, 2023, 8:30 a.m. the deadline for submission and 9 o'clock a.m. the opening of bids. Bulwagan ng Karunungan, ground floor, Alonso Building, DepEd Complex, Meralco Ave, Pasig City. And the deadline of letters of clarification, December 5, 2023 at 3 o'clock p.m. You may send to depedcentral.backsecretariat@deped.gov.ph. That's all po, Madam Chair.
Backsec, can you check if our chair is still online?
ASEC.
Yes, thank you, Baksek, for the presentation. The floor is now open for queries. May we request our prospective bidders, if you have questions, now is the time for you to raise them so we can also clarify them. Thank you.
Good morning po, everybody. Jonathan Silveta po from Nika Trading. A couple of clarifications lang po. Madam, pwede po ba pa-flash yung source of funds? Diba ang nakalagay po is December 31st, 2023. Tama po ba? Yung expiry po ng funds, yung validity, yung FY 2022 nakalagay po is December 31st, 2023. So, yun po yung first clarification namin kung paano po yung interpretation nun. Kasi 120 calendar days, so beyond this year na po siya.
Thank you for the question. May we hear from the end user to further clarify the question raised by our bidder? Anyone from our end user?
Madam Chair, Aljan po.
Yes, Aljan, you are recognized.
Yes, good morning po, Madam Chair, and to the community and all the attendees po. So originally po, we proposed for this for 120 calendar days, exactly for the same reason po, with the validity of the 2022 continuing funds, and it's also our concern po regarding this. So I think if this is to be awarded po before December 31, the payment is still available po until March 2024, if is that correct po. So it is also a clarification din po from the end user, and we're not sure din po for this in answering this question po, Madam Chair.
Yes, thank you for that, Aljan. I think we will have to wait for further instruction from our finance people if the 223 current funds will be up for continuing in the first quarter of 2024. And then perhaps we can also seek for clarification on that matter regarding the validity of the current fund for 2023. If we can calendar that as one of the things that we will also have to ask or to clarify from our finance strand. May we hear from our other back members regarding this matter?
Madam Chair, this is Attorney Suzette.
Yes, Attorney said.
Yeah, I think we do have the calendar of activities. As long as we award the contract on or before December 31, then yes, it's already earmarked or obligated. Then we can proceed to the delivery. So we want to check the schedule of the procurement or everything from the opening to post-qua and award. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for that, Attorney Seth, our Vice Chair. If the BACSEC can take a look or present the entire calendar for this particular project, and we'll have to determine whether that would suit until December 31 of 2023 for the obligation of such funds. which is the current fund for 2023. Dean, can you please read that aloud?
So for the approval of RTA po, it would be on December 28, 2023 to January 2, 2024. Proposed timeline po ito.
Okay, thank you for that, Dean. We're also flashing again for the benefit of our prospective bidders, particularly for the timeline of this project, that the approval of the RTA would fall between December 28 to January 2, and hopefully it would not actually extend up to it will not extend up to January, right? Okay. So we will have to make sure that we are able to comply with the approval of the RTA on December 28 and not exceed December 31, as that is actually within the period. So we're saying to our prospective bidder that yes, this timeline will be followed, and we hope to be able to issue the RTA on December 28 and not exceeding December 31 of this current year. Thank you. Anything else?
Thank you po, ma'am. For the slide, ma'am, yung sa sample submission, so may clarifications po kami sa samples, sa glassware, or sa mga measurements niya. Tapos earlier may slide po doon sa sample submission. Kung paki-share po.
Baksek, can you please show the slide on the sample submission?
Yan po. Thank you. May clarifications po kasi kami sa mga technical specifications for glasswares, yung ranges po niya. Though dito po, nakalagay po sa ating slide, which is nasa previous bidding naman po, na pwede po mag-submit ng better. Though during the sample evaluation, di ko po sure kung ilang rebid na po ata ito, 3 or 4. Kung paki-clarify na lang sa end user. Yung mga previous po na na biddings natin, yung nagiging findings po, paki-correct lang kung tama o mali. Under specs. Tapos ito pong current natin na na bidding prior po sa rebid na to. Over specs naman po. So, ganyan po, medyo doon kami hingi ng kung ano po ba yung wisdom doon. Before, mag-miss ka maging short ka ng couple of centimeters, millimeters, failed ka po. Itong previous po natin na sample evaluation, lumagpas ka naman po ng konti, failed ka pa rin. Though yung tinest yung yung mga glasswares, pati yung other items, functional naman po siya. Kung pwede po manghingi ng wisdom behind that sa ating mga end users or yun po. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for that question. Can we hear first from our end user and our TWG, if anyone is around? And then we'll also hear from our back members. Aljon?
Yes po, Madam Chair. To answer that po, we have already reviewed po and realized our lapses from the previous bidding po. So we have revised some technical specification po, specifically in the ranges of the measurements po. We have nagbigay po kami ng mga mas more relaxed po na mga measurements para hindi po ganun strict sa measurement. So in this new rebid po, for the specific item po which caused the failure from the previous bidding po, we have revised po some of the specs po. And in regards po dun sa decision regarding the acceptance, even if it is not fit into the specs, it is the decision of the back din po. So the TWG and the is just recommendatory po. Even if it is not fit into the specs, we recommend it to the back to still pass it, but it is the final decision of the back po to pass or fail the item. Madam Chair, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Aljon, for that. Can we hear from Attorney Zep, please?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Sir Aljan, for revising the specs, but we provided for the minimum and maximum dimension, so we stick to that range. So if you submitted a sample that's undersized and oversized and it's not within the range, so the back decided that it's not compliant with the technical specifications. But now the end user was able to revise the technical specifications. Thank you.
Sure.
Yes, thank you,
Thank you po.
Attorney Zep. Thank you. I hope that clarified your query. Anyone else from the floor
Apo,
who would
thank you
like
for the clarification po. Though may nakalagay po sa previous bidding, naka-specify po rin yun. However, the bidder may provide a sample of better or superior quality if accepted. Ayun po. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. As mentioned a while ago, we cannot check the quality if we haven't tried using the sample. So it's not of superior size, but of superior quality. Just for example, for that storage box, you stored the chemicals. Is it chemical resistant or is it unbreakable? So that's the quality we're talking about. But as to the size, we've set the minimum and maximum.
Kaya nga
So,
po, case-to-case basis po siguro. Kasi in particular dun sa mga glassware, kung basahin ko po kasi lahat medyo mahaba. Kaya
Medyo minimum, maximum. So yeah,
lagay ko lang
that's
po
why
yung
we
lighting.
corrected the text.
May ilang ano lang madam kunyari yung cork stopper, yung sa specifications po may size siya. Pero pagdating dun sa actual, nung in-inspect na sample evaluation, hindi pala kasya doon sa doon sa pinaka tube. So bawat change po kasi yung manufacturer natin gagawa ng molde, madam. So mag-specialize ng mold. So ang nire-recommend na lang kung ano yung functional para doon sa item na po yan. Medyo marami-rami, madam, kung basahin ko po. Example, yung item 14, yung Erlenmeyer flask. Nakalagay po sa specs with easy pour spout. Kumbaga may ano siya, o pitchel na may spout. Pero yung sa specs po, kung basahin nyo maigi, wala pong spout na nakalagay doon. So parang contradictory po siya. So though ilalagay ko lang in writing kasi medyo marami po. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, sir. At least we have heads up, particularly sa end user natin regarding some concerns that you have noticed and would like to be put forward in this particular bidding process. So anyone else from the floor who would like to ask questions? You may please approach the microphone and introduce yourself for recording purposes.
Yes, ma'am. I'm Siegfried Denzel po from Edu Resources. Ma'am, pwede po magtanong tungkol dun sa Annex. Regarding po dun sa Annex J, supposedly nandoon yung full technical specs per item. Pero yung nakita lang po namin is parang mga one-liner na description lang po. Meron po ba nung kagaya niyan na kumpleto sa specifications dun sa Annex J po?
Bakte, can you please flash? And may I acknowledge end user Aljon?
Yes,
Yes.
Yes, Madam Chair. I also have noticed this po right after posting po ng mga annexes and bid documents in the DepEd website. So I already informed the back secretariat po about some erroneous na posted din po. Siguro na nagka-error na po sa pag-convert into different file. So I already provided po na backsec the complete po na technical specifications, and I think it will be issued through a bid bulletin po, Madam Chair.
Yes, thank you for that, Aljon. Can we hear from the BACSEC regarding this one? According to Aljon, he already forwarded to your end.
Yes po, Madam Chair. So we will release a bid bulletin regarding po the technical specifications.
Yes, thank you, Dean, for that. So from Edu Resources, kindly just wait, and to the rest of the prospective bidders, wait for the issuance of the bid bulletin regarding this concern.
Okay po, thank you very much.
Okay.
Another item po is regarding general specifications. Yung general specification number 9, ang sabi po is the items must be branded and permanently marked on the items. In cases po na small items tapos multiple quantity sa loob ng isang set, kailangan po ba each item talaga lalagyan ng brand?
May I acknowledge Aljon, please?
Yes, Madam Chair, thank you. For the small items po, not necessarily po that it is printed po in the item. It may be printed po sa packaging po mismo niya. So in the specific items po, meron naman siyang technical specification na with brand on the storage case or packaging of the item. This line number 9 po is general specifications na po na must be branded and marked in the item po. Pero in the specific items po, meron po siya, pwede siyang i-mark po sa storage ng items. Especially po yung small items po na hindi po malalagay dyan ng mga markings. Thank you.
Masyadong maliliit.
Okay. Aljon, can you cite where in the technical specification is number 9 discussed, so that we can refer our from Edu Resources to that particular statement in the text?
Normally in every technical specification po, nasa last item po talaga siya. So Pero sa naka-flash po ngayon na technical specification natin since hindi po na-include yung mga each lines po. Hindi po siya mag-view as of now. Pero indicated po talaga siya sa mga each items. And siguro Ma'am Joy po may other add po. Thank you.
Yes. May I recognize Miss Jocelyn?
Thank you po. For example, sa dissecting set, marami siyang items sa loob, pero yung branding niya, nasa packaging lang, yung zippered case. Sa case lang nakalagay, permanently yung brand. Not on the items, but on the zippered case. So, isang buo na siya, so nakalagay na doon ang brand niya. Not necessarily sa tig-isa-isang nasa loob. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Jocelyn. I hope that satisfied your query as well.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much also.
Okay po.
And anyone else po from the floor who would like to clarify?
Yes po, good morning po ulit.
Good morning.
Clarification lang din po doon ma'am sa sa lot 12. Kasi understanding po namin sa lot 12, second LCB po kami. Though hindi kami naka-receive ng notice, ngayon po up for bidding na siya. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for that clarification. May we request from our back Vice Chair, Attorney Zet, and from BACSEC as well regarding the clarification on the floor.
James?
Yes, please. BACSEC, James.
Madam Chair, for a while lang po. Thank you po.
Okay. Sir, this is Lot 12, no? Nika Trading, as LCB. Yeah, we have issued the notice of post disqualification for the lowest, and we also conducted another the post evaluation for the Nika Trading, and we also the BAC also decided that it's not compliant due to the measurements, and it was also reviewed thoroughly the post DQ. So I think yesterday it was released and it's Saturday, maybe on Monday, sir. Thank you po.
From our end, madam, wala pa kami natanggap eh. So, kasama po ba sa process yan? Kasi ngayon, nagbibiling na po tayo.
We'll monitor, sir, kung nasa na yung document.
Okay po, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, BAC, for clarifying as well and for the question from the floor. Anything else? Anyone else? Okay. BACSEC?
So any comments po or clarifications? I think po, Sec, none na po sa end po ng mga bidders po. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you, Dean. Can we just have a quick reminder again on the timeline for this particular project after today, the pre-bid conference? Dean, can you run through again or have a review of the important dates that we have to consider to make sure that we'll be able to release the RTA for this particular project on December 28th of this year, keeping our fingers crossed. Okay, Dean, please.
Yes po, so again for the deadline for submission and opening of the bids on November 14, 2023. Ay, sorry po.
December, please. We'll correct that slide. Should be December 14, 2023.
Okay po, wait lang po, Madam Chair. Thank you po. Okay, so for the deadline for submission and opening of the bids is on December 14, 2023, 8:30 a.m. the deadline for submission and 9 o'clock a.m. for the opening of the bids. The venue is in the Bulwagan na Karunungan ground floor Alonso Building, DepEd Complex, Meralco Ave, Pasig City. And the deadline, and then for the deadline for letters of clarification, December 5, 2023 at 3 o'clock p.m. You may send through the DepEd Central at .bacsecretariat@deped.gov.ph. Thank you po.
Yes, thank you, Dean, for that. And also for today's participation of our prospective bidders. Eventually, if we will make an appeal, this particular project is still very necessary, of course, as we make sure that teaching and learning, particularly in science and mathematics, be of good quality. And so, teaching our students on science and math not only would entail the articulation of the curriculum, but more so of its learning resource. So we thank you for, well, your interest as prospective bidders to this project, and we are keeping our fingers crossed, back five particularly, that we'll be able to make sure that we deliver this particular project so that in the end, it's our learners who will benefit. So thank you everyone for today. If there are no more questions, may I now hear a motion for the adjournment of this pre-bid conference?
Motion to adjourn, Madam Chair.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I second the motion.
Okay, thank you so much again for joining us even on a Saturday. Thank you so much, Yusek Gerard, for joining us.
Thank you.
Attorney Zed and everyone of the BAC5, BACSEC, TWG, and user and our prospective bidders. God bless everyone. Thank you.
Thank you po, Madam Chair and everyone.
Thank you po, everybody.
Salamat po. Salamat sa lahat.
Thank you.
Maraming salamat po.